Holy crap, my friends, Nvidia had access to something nobody thought they did. It's quite an intriguing leak. And an intriguing leak might be what you get if you use this bed-mounted VR headset, as well as AMD introducing new drivers with some pretty cool features. Let's get into the hot news, everybody. I'm your host, Brett. We're gonna be going over the hottest tech news that I can find on the internet while you enjoy your breakfast. Actually, you know what? Before we jump into the news, I do want to talk about the fact that we are still hiring here at UFD Media for a channel coordinator. I got a ton of great applications yesterday, but we are still looking. Nothing's finalized at this point. I'm going to start moving forward with some interviews, but in case you're interested in potentially working for Hot News/UFD Tech, you could check out the link in the video description for what's going on here. We're going to sit back, relax, and talk about a few things, such as this leak that came out from Nvidia's GeForce Now that divulges that there might be a lot more, not only PlayStation games, but other games coming to the platform, or they were preparing to have it brought over to the platform, and it got kiboshed by the companies who are trying to do it. So in this leak, which was discovered by the YouTuber Igor, Ighor, he was able to go and find data and pull it directly from a database that's from GeForce Now. And what you can find is that they have listings for games such as God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, Ratchet & Clank, Horizon Forbidden West, games that are going to be PlayStation exclusives that actually wouldn't be on PC. So it's actually quite curious whether or not these are actually going to be coming to Nvidia's cloud gaming platform. On top of that, it's not just PlayStation games. There's other things such as GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas all have remasters, which is something that's been floating around. And then a lot of these titles not only are listed in the GeForce Now platform, but also have Steam IDs and Epic IDs. You can see here, this is just a small list of the amount of titles that are coming from the PlayStation mobile side of things. And you can see it's not just a database entry, but a fully fledged client release that they have right here, especially for God of War, including things such as a description and a screenshot being included. And this is not just a YouTuber that's making all of this up. You could actually go pull this information yourself via this GitHub page right here, at least as of the time of recording. Whether or not Nvidia is taking it down, it's not quite clear, but you can try it for yourself. On top of this, though, there are also listings for games that haven't been confirmed by anybody. Things such as Titanfall 3, Kingdom Hearts 4, BioShock 2022, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Half-Life 2 Remastered coming out, Fight for Middle-earth. Obviously, this is a ton of interesting information. This could just be for testing purposes, but some of them, with having their fully fledged out store page, it does seem to indicate that it might be a little bit more than just a thought that Nvidia's tossing out into the ether, which actually leads me to an interesting thought which I haven't seen kind of discussed around this. I wonder, potentially this might be completely out to lunch because, you know, this is hot news, we have breakfast here, but what if Nvidia is partnering up with Sony in order to bring PlayStation Now to the PC via the way of GeForce Now, okay? Because PlayStation Now is a cloud streaming, GeForce Now, cloud streaming. They both have the word now in them. Could it be any more obvious? Illuminati confirmed? I think this is a win for gamers everywhere. I think out of all of the cloud streaming applications that are out there, GeForce Now is probably my favorite, not just because they have a free edition, but also the version that you pay monthly for gives you access to some of the highest end hardware with RTX, and then if you buy the game, you actually get to keep it because you're not buying it on GeForce Now's platform. It's actually being purchased on Steam or Ubisoft or etc. And I think if they partnered up with Sony to deliver games via the cloud so that it's not necessarily sitting on your PC, but you still get to play it on RTX hardware, that could actually be a good way for Sony to retain a lot of their user base while still getting additional game sales, because you still have to buy the game on PlayStation, but then you get to play it on GeForce Now. And let's say you actually want to play the localized version when the PS5 finally becomes available in your area, well, then you can just download it anyways because you already purchased this. As I'm saying this more and more, I'm delighted by this idea, which is probably the reason why it won't happen, because this is good for consumers. Let me know what you think of this GeForce Now situation down below in the comments. Would you like to see more games come out to GeForce Now? Would you like to see a Sony and Nvidia crossover? Do you believe that a lot of these games are real, or because there are some games that have never even been hinted at, that this could potentially just be an Nvidia employee typing out as many games as they can think off the top of their head? Half-Life 3? Let me put that in there. I do find it interesting that there's a Half-Life 2 remastered and not a Half-Life 3. That would have thrown the whole thing out of whack. I'd be less likely to believe it if it said Half-Life 3. That's just me.
You've killed more than 2 people in less than 4.
But again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And while you type, I want you to listen about today's episode sponsor, which is Chirp and the Chirp Wheel Plus, my friends. If you have any sort of back stretching that you want to do, the way I do is with the Chirp Wheel Plus, because I just lay it on the ground, I roll on it because of the unique 4-way stretch. It makes sure that it hits parts of my back that a foam roller typically does not, or any other type of back stretching that I do. It's so super simple. It's the easiest back stretching exercise that you could possibly do, and it's an FDA registered class 1 medical device. This is the simplest way for me to hit any of those spots on my back. It comes in 3 different sizes. You have the large, the medium, and then the deep tissue. This is for just cranking out those little knots. I prefer the medium if you're just gonna pick up one, because it's a good balance of both of them, but they do have the Chirp 3-oil pack, which you can also get with a free posture corrector using our link in the video description. This has been one of our most popular sponsors, which is why they continue to appear here on Hot News. You guys do seem to love it, so big thanks to Chirp for sponsoring today's episode of Hot News. Now let's dive right into Cryptostonks. Bitcoin kind of staying flat. You can see it had a huge peak in the middle of the day, climbing thousands of dollars, but now it's only up 0.08%, not really going anywhere. Ethereum down less than 1%. You can see it kind of cratered in the middle of the day and has been slowly retrenching up its territory. Dogecoin also in a similar situation, down 3% on the day. Meme stonks, however, going up to the choo-choo train in the sky. GameStop up nearly 7%, $12.99, closing at $203.40. What an absolute massive day for GameStop. AMC also continuing its upward climb, up 3% on the day. You can see that it's just had a nice steady upward climb over the last month. Meme stonks continuing upwards. Can they get to the moon? Well, you'll find out here on another episode of Hot News, and we're gonna find out about an AMD mining card which has now appeared in the wild, an RX 6700M based mining GPU with 2300 cores and 10 gigabytes of memory. It's appearing in pictures. If this ever comes out retail, it's not quite clear, but it does look like AMD is actually developing crypto mining cards, not just high performance compute server cards. So in case you're wondering who stands on the side of the consumer, it's nobody. They stand on the side of money, my friends. Do you have enough money for this? Half Dive, the world's first bed mounted display VR headset. All right, just the words sound ridiculous, but wait until you see it, okay, my friends? Let's look at this. It's not only going to have that VR headset that you're so used to having, it'll have a 3D audio system consisting of 4 speakers around your head, force feedback system, vibration feedback via an audio exciter, and foot controllers, my friends, in addition to the regular hand controllers. This is an absolute mad lad of a device coming November 2021 on Kickstarter. You can see I kind of get this for a few things. Look at those fans that are blowing on that man's face. Why do you need fans on your face, all right? Is this because the headset's gonna run really hot and loud? It's gonna cost a price of $800 for the base model, up to $4,000 for the very focal unit. This could be great for people who are actually bedbound. This could be great for actually just playing video games in bed. I think we all know what it's gonna be used for, but I wanna talk about it, and they could probably have some great collaborations with other smart devices that can make it a really weird and unique experience that you can have in the comfort of your own bed. But all I wanna do is think about potentially playing Half-Life Alyx in this setup with my foot controller so I can walk around with that, all right? That's the official Hot News story. This is a Half-Life Alyx device. And the official story of SpaceX is that they're bringing non-astronauts up on their first orbital flight, sending private citizens to space. It's supposed to be launching on Wednesday night with a billionaire, one of his people that work for him, and then, actually kind of intriguing, somebody who won a St. Jude Children's fundraiser giveaway, as well as a physician assistant who's at St. Jude's, which is kind of neat, on top of the fact that the billionaire gave $100 million to a St. Jude fundraiser. This is a little bit better pill to swallow than the whole, Blue Dragon, Crew Dragon, Blue Origin, what's it called? I can't even remember. Jeff Bezos's penis rocket.
No, sir, he got away in that rocket that looks like a huge
penis.
Words I never thought I'd have to say. Whereas the billionaire's son, who actually got to go on the flight because the first billionaire had a scheduling conflict. This, at least, there's a billionaire, somebody that, works for him, and then the charity, like a bunch of money to charity, people from the charity on it. This is a neat little setup for people who want to go to space. I'm actually really excited for privatization of spaceflight, potentially making it more accessible to the rest of us. And Intuit, they might make Mailchimp accessible to the rest of us. No, they're not. Mailchimp's already accessible. How is this? I don't even know. I guess the better segue would have been billionaires, because Intuit, the company behind things such as TurboTax and Mint, have purchased Mailchimp for $12 billion, which is a mix of cash and stocks, which is absolutely absurd. TechCrunch asking the question, why is Intuit spending 10% of its market cap buying an email marketing company? Per release, they think that the deal advances its powering prosperity around the world and its strategy to become an AI-driven expert platform. I'll give you the skinny right here. It's data. They want your data. Mailchimp has data on the people who make the mailer list and the people who open them, and they're going to get a lot more data that way, and they're going to be able to sell you better things. It's tons and tons of data. Mailchimp has it. And AMD has a new software driver that you can potentially download that includes a lot of features that people might want to take a look at, including auto overclock for your CPUs and GPUs, smart-ass memory for the RX 5000 series, also known as resizable bar, and the auto overclock can overclock the Ryzen 5000 series processors and RX 6000 series cards in increments of 50 megahertz to find out what's the fastest system that you could possibly get. So in case you're interested in checking that out, maybe Google the latest AMD drivers. If you even have an RX 6000 card, which, by the way, for the upcoming charity stream that's happening, this puppy is being given away, this RX 6900 XT, in combination with the 12900K full system, all right? You're gonna be able to win one of these bad boys in case you want to stick around for the charity stream. But I'm not sticking around any longer. You should check out yesterday's episode of Hot News where we talked about how Nvidia might be bringing back the RTX 2060 with 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Why would they do that? No clue, but you should go watch it. And I'll see you tomorrow for breakfast, my friends. Cheerios. Winning. Also, don't forget to apply for the job at UFD Media down below.